It's me, Johnson Chan, and I just realized I did the same introduction that I always do with Bitcoin Clown World. There we go. Yeah, I fixed up the camera a little bit. I always wind up banging up the box camera position, so. Anyway, I would have started a little earlier, but I forgot to brush my teeth, and the Amazon driver is actually 2 stops away. So I was like, I don't know. I would prefer not to get interrupted during the stream, but I guess we're just going to have to get interrupted during the stream. So anyway, I'm definitely very happy with the new chapters that I added. I can definitely tell that already it's doing so much better. Like pretty much all the metrics are up, and everything is also kind of just a little bit behind in reporting because it takes like YouTube like up to 2 days or something to start reporting all the stuff because like it would say, oh, this thing's gotten like 4 views since being published when it's actually plus 20. So it's like, yeah. But with that being said, that's all right. So I've been doing some work. I've also been trying to do some restructuring with regard to the video game and all that other stuff. Especially now that money's going to be tighter. Now that since Pancake Swap's under pressure, but I mean, just overall, like, I'm expecting things to get much worse because they're really trying to push hard for those lockdowns. Now, whether we actually get them or not, we'll have to see. Obviously, I hope that doesn't happen. And I'm pretty sure some big corporations also do not want to see a lockdown. So at least there's going to be some actual resistance against this stuff. So we'll have to see how everything plays out. And then I also just watched a video about why renting sucks. And yeah, I'm definitely gonna need to get into real estate, even if it's just to buy my own house or whatever. Because all this money that I'm wasting on rent every month, right? Now going to be like 4 years, going into my 5th year. I mean, that could have easily gone into like paying down like a mortgage, for a house or something or a condo or whatever. I would have actual equity because when you pay rent, that's money you'll never get back. Yeah, it's up to a lot. So, anyway, so yeah, it's just a lot of stuff. I also want to do a couple of errands after the stream's over. So, okay, so I'm still getting used to this new format because, I can't do what I usually like to do, which is just jump all over the place because that actually screws up the auto chat. No, not auto chapters, but it screws up the chapters because I can definitely tell that people are definitely clicking to the parts that they want to see, and that's a good thing. So I want to make sure everything's, nice and organized and collated or whatever. So, all right, so let's just get right into it. Eventually, I'll be able to settle into this structure. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so Bitcoin searches for last week looks like it's gonna be finalized for last week, right? It will be finalized at around 20. So Google hasn't released this week's data yet because usually that comes out on a Tuesday or Wednesday. So that's for Bitcoin. Buy Bitcoin is slightly up to 14. Okay, still very, very low. So normies are still pretty much out of it. Now, Jerome Powell did come out today and say, oh, inflation's going to get worse or something like that. So it'll be, so yeah, I'm definitely expecting to see a spike in inflation surges here. So of course, this is still all-time highs. Hyperinflation is dropped to 42, right? Because we're coming up at the end of November, so Google will eventually give us the right numbers for this. It's going to be all over the place, though. It's going to be all over the place. Now, I've been hearing a lot about this. The Fear and Greed Index has remarkably improved. Not surprisingly, that's also reflected in cryptocurrency prices over here. So let's see, next update's in 2.5 hours. And now we're at 40. Yeah, because I think yesterday it was like 30 something, like 33. So people are definitely getting greedier, which is a good thing. And it's kind of odd because today I think the markets are down. All right. Oh yeah, they're way down. I want to refresh this just to make sure. Yeah, markets are way down, but crypto actually did pretty well. Like it's been a long time since I've actually seen crypto do what it's supposed to do, which is move the opposite of the stupid stock markets. And today was finally one of those days. Now, whether that remains the same, we'll have to see because again, the markets are down because of Powell's remarks regarding increased inflation cryptocurrencies are supposed to go up in value because crypto is a very good inflation hedge against, or it's a very good inflation hedge, right? So for crypto, so it should be doing what it's supposed to be doing. All right, so 40. Oh, actually, it tells me right here. What was the number yesterday? Yeah, 33. So I don't even have to whatever. Okay, so people are getting less afraid. So all right, good. So far, so good. All right, so now let's take a look. Wow, Ronaldo expects 1.1 billion. Just when you think you don't have any money, it's like these big corporations have like 11 gajillion dollars just floating around all over the place. It's just insane. So Riot is flat. Mara went down slightly. Yeah, I mean stocks are just going to be under constant pressure, especially after today. So let's take a look. Actually, I do want to read a little bit more about what Powell actually said. Because right now, Greg Mannarino is really harping that interview that got banned off of YouTube pretty hard. So, yeah, so it's going to be all right. Tech regulation leads to agenda at UK G7, which means they want more censorship. It's always going to be bullshit. Okay, so stock markets, of course, take a massive beating. We're talking like getting killed out here. So between Friday and today, and then markets were up somewhat yesterday. Yeah, I think the Dow is down like maybe around minus 1,300 points, and then the Nasdaq and S&P is also down quite a lot too. Crude oil is getting killed. Precious metals under a little pressure. So that's JP Morgan, of course. And then Bitcoin is in the red here, but it's actually way up compared to before, so works for me. Let me see, is there anything? Let's see, so that's one article. We'll take a look at that later. Does it get a booster now? Yeah, I mean, they're really pushing the boosters, the vaccines, the lockdowns. They're really pushing this stuff really, really hard. Even though I actually tweeted this out early, even though the South African doctor himself actually said the symptoms are very mild, but I mean, again, it's all about government control, and people are just happy to just hand everything over. Like, there's already a law being proposed in Austria where if you keep refusing to get the vax, they're going to steal all your money and put you in jail. Like, it's an actual Nazi bill. It's like people really are just like, it's just outrageous how people just absolutely love tyranny. It's just mind-boggling to me. It's like, I mean, assuming we can ever get out of this, we're gonna have to change the law so that freedom is actually mandatory, right? But again, conservatives in general are just so effing weak, all right? Because they're just so disconnected from God, and then that's why we have all these problems. The Democrats, at least, or liberals, they embrace, what they are, right? They make no bones about being the children of Satan. The conservatives are just completely out of it. So it's like you pretty much have nowhere else left to go. So I don't know what's gonna happen. But I just know that things are gonna get much worse. The fear propaganda is gonna get much worse, and then things will actually continue to get worse. And then I don't know. I mean, at this point, elections are not even gonna really matter, right? So I don't know. We'll have to see. All right, so that's Yahoo Finance. Let's take a look at the bonds real quick. All right, so some kind of unusual, interesting activity. So short-term bonds basically sold off a little bit, while medium to long-term bonds got bought up. Okay, because I know the Mannarino index supposedly got less risky today. Okay, no, that's me. That's Greg. So let's take a look. All right, Mannarino index is 85.9. Yeah, this thing went down. So basically buy the dip, all right? Because that's usually what Greg is gonna actually said today. Yeah, basically market risk is still very low. It's in the green. So all right, well, I mean, things will continue getting better and better, at least financially, right? In terms of stocks, medium to long term, positions. you know, but of course, I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see what happens with with crypto here. You know, I should actually put the Bitcoin prices in the beginning first, and then we can go into the technical analysis. That way, you know, I'll be able to remember a little better. All right, so let's take a look. 24-hour volume is pretty healthy, a little under 135 billion for 24-hour volume for crypto. So that's actually pretty good. So Bitcoin's still hovering around 57,500. Ethereum's on a rip and tear, so it's trying to push to 4,700. Binance Coin's also doing very, very well, so I like that. I know some people like Solana, so Solana's doing pretty decent. I don't care about Dogecoin, Shiba Inu. Yeah, I'm still recovering from being sick, so I don't want to like strain myself. But yeah, I don't want to do the Shiba Inu Japanese sounding thing. But yeah, Shiba Inu's doing pretty well. So we'll definitely take a look at the technicals for that as well. Crypto, of course, Crypto.com coin is still under pressure, which makes sense because it literally just went straight up. So it's gonna be consolidating like what it's doing now for quite some time. Don't care about VeChain. I know PancakeSwap. I'm probably gonna want to take a look at PancakeSwap because that coin is just under so much constant pressure, especially because DeFi coins tend to be under pressure for some reason right now. So PancakeSwap is gonna keep getting hit. Cadena, same thing. I know Gala Games is also doing all right too, but I haven't really checked that in a long time. I haven't really cared to because, you know, it's just buy and forget basically. Let's see. I know Binance is under pressure still, but I already did the technical analysis for us this morning, so yeah, it's consolidating. So it's doing so pretty much crypto is doing exactly what it should be doing. So it's looking pretty good. And then Dong Long Mars is also doing pretty well because Shiba is doing pretty well. Alright, so first and foremost, let's take a look at Bitcoin here. Also, I want to take a look, has Plan B added anything new? I don't care about the stupid hat. Bitcoin drops from 59 to 57K on, you know, the dollar-euro hawkish. I don't actually know what this tweet means, so. Well, I guess I didn't really care to investigate. Alright, so Bitcoin still looking pretty good. 2 green candles. That's a very good sign. And RSI is still way below 0. Yeah, so basically Bitcoin's ready to pop off. You know, once, you know, well, I mean, the problem is the fear propaganda is in full panic mode, so we'll have to see if there will be some kind of positive event, or maybe Bitcoin will just simply go up on its own, which would be fantastic, right? Because Ethereum has already taken the charge over here and just gone up, so. But yeah, this is looking extremely good. Below 0 RSI, between the second and bottom line, blue lines here, and it's 2 green candles after a bunch of red candles. So very, very powerful sign for Bitcoin. I'm expecting this thing to pop off any day. And it's supposed to because, you know, we're going into December and Plan B so far is still saying, you know, Bitcoin, you know, 100 or 135,000 or whatever. It's going to be much higher. But he did say that if Bitcoin still doesn't do what it's supposed to in December, the stock-to-flow model, the original model that he's famous for, will now be invalidated. So, you know, that's just how it goes. I guess we can take a look at Binance Coin. Alright, so Binance Coin still very strong, but it keeps going up. So it's not good. It could still drop back a bit, which it already has, especially with these 2 red candles you saw from few days ago, but plenty of room to go up. So Binance Coin doing very, very solid. Obviously, I would prefer to see all these metrics further below, which means it'll skyrocket. But I mean, that's okay. I mean, Binance is just doing exceptionally well. And again, just any negative news, just tune that out. It's all BS. I mean, you can just watch my channel or anyone else's channel, but you have to understand that the media is your enemy, right? They're always trying to like put fear on you. Right? Because let's say you believe all this stupid bullshit about Binance and how everything, the sky is falling and all these regulations, you'd be getting killed right now because you just missed out on like a crap load of money in Binance Coin. Remember, Binance not too long ago, like a month or two ago, like back in October, was as low as like $352 here. you've basically almost doubled your money, right? Oh, but you know, if you're stupid enough to believe the stupid media, because I know some of my family members still believe the media, and it really annoys the hell out of me to no end. You know, you just cheated yourself out of money, and that's exactly the point. So you gotta learn to just not listen to the FUD. The media is just evil, right? It's pure evil. And if I were in charge, I would not only separate the news from the free speech amendment, I would have it heavily regulated, right? And then I would just forbid them from reporting too many negative stories, and then that would be that. But obviously, we live in a very tyrannical, dishonest system, so we're stuck with what we have right now. Yeah, but that's Binance Coin, so good to see that it's doing very, very well. Because obviously I know to just tune out all the BS. So hopefully you will be learning to do the same as well. Or maybe you could just ignore me and then just keep losing money, right? Because I know Greg Mannarino was probably referring to Robert Kiyosaki about saying there will be a big crash in October. Yeah, Robert Kiyosaki has always been completely wrong and terrible on all of his predictions. Yeah, he's propped up because he doesn't challenge the system. He actually makes people lose money too. I mean, he's got really good fundamental advice with like becoming an investor, get cash flow, stuff like that. But beyond that, he doesn't really teach you anything. So, yeah, he's got this giant platform constantly telling people like all this wrong financial advice. So it's just like it's just so many grifters out there, man. It's really mind-boggling to me. Let's see. What else do I want to look at? I probably want to look at Pancake Swap. Yes, Shiba Inu. I'm going to look at Shiba. I should probably take a look at Cardano, actually. I haven't looked at that in a while. Even though I actually hold quite a bit of Cardano, actually. But Cardano's been doing pretty shitty lately, so. But that's because crypto markets in general have not been doing so good. So Cardano pretty much won't be doing much. So, okay, this might be an okay indicator. It might be 2 green candles after a bunch of red candles. It's way below the third blue line here, and its RSI is negative. So Cardano is ready to pop off whenever it decides to pop off. But, I mean, until the overall crypto markets improve, I'm guessing that Cardano will continue to just be under, quite some pressure. I mean, if anything, I wish I just simply put all my money into Shiba instead of stupid Cardano, but I guess it's a little too late for that now. Well, that being said, I'm obviously just going to hold my Cardano. I may consider pulling it all out and then converting into some other crypto, but, for now, I'll just hold my current Cardano positions. Because, again, it doesn't have the DeFi and all the other DApp decentralized application implementations yet. So, all right, let's take a look at good old Shiba. Let's see. So Shiba RSI is below 0 slightly, and yeah, that looks pretty good. A pretty big pop off to the top. It hits the third blue line, or it hits the top blue line, I should say, and then immediately pulls back. So it's exactly like what it should be doing in terms of technicals. So yeah, Shiba's got plenty of room to grow, and it's had plenty of time to consolidate, because look at all of these days where it's just constant red candles, and you see the RSI going down. So Shiba is pretty much done consolidating, now it's just getting ready to pop off. So what we're seeing so far in crypto, at least from the technical analysis, is crypto is ready to pop off. This is looking extremely, extremely good. So I definitely cannot be complaining here. Of course, except for stupid Pancake Swap, which has just been under just so much pressure. Just look at all this red. But again, the technicals on it look very good as well. Well below 0 in RSI, and basically still kind of below the third blue line over here. You can kind of mouse over, and 2 green candles. 2 green candles after a bunch of red candles. So very, very good. And remember, always ignore this technical part that says strong sell, buy, whatever. This is just for ego purposes. I find that this indicator is just completely worthless. So. And it's a lagging indicator, so it's not very helpful. So, alright, so Pancake Swap should be ready to pop off when everybody else is ready to pop off as well. Because Pancake Swap went as low as, let's see, kind of this $12.54, and it immediately bounced right back up. Yeah, because Pancake Swap has been under so much selling pressure that it's definitely way oversold. So again, we just have to wait for crypto to get off its fat lazy ass and then do what we want it to do, and that's a good thing. I want to top this off. Well, I guess we could look at Cadena as well. I haven't looked at Cadena in a while. Yeah, Cadena. Okay, so below the second middle line, heading towards the third blue line. An RSI is still going tanking, so Cadena will probably continue to consolidate. Probably needs another week or two to consolidate. While as it consolidates, the RSI keeps approaching zero, and then ideally goes below zero. So, all right. So Cadena won't be going up anytime soon. Obviously, it could just decide to go up anytime it wants. But again, these technicals are saying the likelihood is it'll keep consolidating. Also, I haven't really seen I've seen two green candles, then two red candles, a green and another red. So, okay. So maybe the bottom is about to approach, which would make sense because the RSI is barreling towards zero. So, okay. So that's Cadena. Because I want to move on to the news, so let's take a look at Dog Lawn Mars. Alright, so Dog Lawn Mars is pretty much done killing off its RSI, so it's pretty close to zero. It's still above zero, but this is a pretty nice drop in RSI. And then two big green candles after a bunch of red candles, and it's hovering kind of above the second middle line towards the third. So Dog Lawn Mars is looking pretty solid. And of course, this is very nice price consolidation for Dog Lawn Mars. So this is fantastic. Basically, what we've seen so far after doing my analysis today, because I didn't actually do too many analyses today because I knew I was going to do this stream. This is actually looking very good. This basically means that cryptos across the board are going to get ready to pop off. Right, my Dog Lawn position here is going to do well. My Cardano is still under pressure, but that should do well. Shiba is already doing well. Binance coin's doing well. And I forgot to check Binance. Right? The only exception would be Binance, right? Because Binance has already been going straight up, lots of green candles, and now it's just trying to consolidate pretty hard here. Unfortunately, I'm not liking the RSI still being way above zero here, so I mean that probably means my Binance position is going to start getting weaker and weaker for the foreseeable future, at least until I see the RSI get, weaker here. But with that being said, it's already pretty close to it's halfway to the bottom blue line, and it's already past the middle blue line. So I guess Binance will be consolidating and volatile for quite some time. Well, with the exception of Binance, everything else is looking very good, especially Binance coins. So, all right, it's just a matter of don't get crazy, don't get too crazy sick, and then just endure what we have to endure today, and then we'll just have to see what happens with crypto when it wants to pop off, because I don't know. I mean, again, usually when the stock markets crash, cryptocurrency crashes. Today was an exception to that. I'm hoping that these exceptions will keep continuing. And so far, the technicals do say the answer is yes. That crypto will keep popping off, or is getting ready to pop off. So we'll have to see. So I did read some of these actual Bitcoin articles before, so we can't find anything. I guess we'll open these up. I'm just going to summarize them because I don't really feel like rereading this stuff. Okay, we'll open that. I don't care about Colony. 3.3 billion Bitcoin mining company grid to list on New York Stock Exchange. Okay, so more mining companies are coming out. Okay. Correct after Fed chair mentions policy change. Yeah, which really is not a policy change. It's just more BS from the Federal Reserve. And of course, people are naive and stupid enough to believe all the lies that they say. The Federal Reserve has zero intention of tapering or reducing their buyback program. All they're doing is just lying and just saying we're reducing our required monthly minimum. But he doesn't say anything about the maximum, so he can still buy as much crap as they want. They can still print as much money as they want, because they want this hyperinflation to keep going, right? Especially since the Federal Reserve is buying up assets. So I've already talked about this before. There's a financial incentive for the Federal Reserve to keep hyperinflating everything because they own everything now, right? They keep buying assets. So it would be like you issuing stock of Microsoft. Now you own shares of Microsoft, and now you can also hyperpump Microsoft by increasing the money supply. So now your shares of Microsoft keep going up. Do you see how corrupt the system is? And that's basically what's going on here. Shiba, I don't know what that coin is, and AMP, I think that's what it is. Shake off Fed taper comments by notching double-digit gains. Yeah, because it's bullshit. It's all BS. Congressional candidate seeking to unseat anti-crypto Brad Sherman is accepting contributions via Lightning Network. Yeah, I've been very disappointed in Vladimir Putin recently. He's starting to sound more and more like a typical globalist now. So unless they've decided to threaten him or something. Aarika Rhodes, a Democrat running to represent California's district, today has begun accepting Bitcoin. Okay, so she's a Democrat running against another Democrat, so she doesn't have to worry about that. Okay, you know what? As long as we have more crypto-friendly people, then I'm okay with it. I mean, it's still not ideal, but right now, beggars cannot be choosers, and the Democrats are pretty much in full control of everything. So, if the Republican Party was smart, which they are not, they would also be embracing cryptocurrencies, and some of them are, but it's just not. They're just so far behind the curve. Rhodes is seeking to replace Brad Sherman, blah, 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 calling for a ban, okay, China scammers. Many lawmakers coming out in support of pro-crypto legislation have already won elections. Earlier this month, Eric Adams defeated his Republican opponent. Later saying I begin accepting crypto. Okay, we already know about Miami. Though some current members of Congress accept crypto contributions for election campaigns, publicly announced that apparently such a move is still a relatively new concept. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Morgan Harper, a candidate trained Rockport in 17, Ohio, recently said she was in learning well in crypto space and encouraging blah, 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 blah. Okay. So this is actually a very, very good thing. So again, she's running as a Democrat, so we don't have to worry about, the smear campaigns that Republicans always endure. So it's just a matter of can she beat this Brad Sherman F word, who's obviously hostile towards crypto. So obviously, I hope that this Aarika lady, I think that's how you pronounce her name, Aarika, even though it's spelled with double A's. Let me see, how big is her social media presence? Okay. Not Paul, her school year running for Congress, ready to serve. Okay. Well, at least she's saying, okay, so the good news is she seems to be a decent person. Right, because it is true. We don't want to make Bitcoin a partisan issue, but some establishment folks are trying to make it do that. Because obviously, if you turn it into a partisan issue, then it'll be easy to divide people, and then it's the same crap that we've always had, right? The reason why we have all these problems, in the world is because everyone's divided. So I don't know. We should. We'll just have to see. Now she's running against Brad Sherman, so Brad Sherman Twitter. Let me see. Okay, yeah, he definitely looks like a rat-faced tribal. Yeah, this is just going to be very difficult. Okay. Thanks to bailout, Democrats are delaying on their promise to undo blah 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 blah. Yeah, I'm not surprised that this piece of garbage is anti-crypto. I can already tell just by looking at this piece of garbage. Alright, so the good news is he doesn't have too many more followers than Aarika What's-Her-Face. So, let me actually see. I don't know. It might be too early to poll. I mean, these polls aren't going to be Aarika, Rhodes, Brad Sherman. I just want to see. Yeah, I mean, this is a pro Bitcoin. She is running, blah, blah, blah. Conversation. I'm actually curious. What does this tweet say? And then we'll move on to the next news article. We want to replace Brad Sherman in 2020. We really need to fundraise. Today he has $3 million cash on hand. That's a pretty big number. This was September 13th. Yeah, she's going to have a... Yeah, so it doesn't sound like she's going to win. I mean, there's plenty of time. I mean, I don't have access to how much money that she has in her bank account. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I hope she wins, but it's gonna be a tough row to hoe. I think that's the saying. All right, we'll keep this open. I liked that. Oh, I also didn't look at news.bitcoin.com. Bitcoin icon grid plans on okay. Finance committee approves legislation dealing crypto tax in South Korea. Okay. Alright, I guess that's fine. Yeah, I thought about maybe covering Tommy Sotomayor getting banned off of Twitter. But I mean, there's really just not much more to say. I mean, I already said this yesterday, right? Twitter censorship is just going to get so much worse super fast. So I'm actually surprised that this Tommy guy has lasted online as long as he did. But he is actually a black man, so that's probably why they let him on. But it's pretty obvious to me that enough people have had enough of his antics, so he's going to be purged from the internet pretty soon, if he isn't already. So, Harold Stray, got Nigerian fintechs account for 91% of, okay, very good. Okay, so at least Robert Kiyosaki is not hostile towards crypto. At least he's buying Bitcoin and Ethereum, as it says here. Which is fine. Okay, now so Shiba begin. Yeah, so okay, so we're gonna open up that article. Plan B says Bitcoin price still on track towards 100 grand despite missing the November price prediction. Yeah, I mean the problem is there's just a lot of manipulation and they're really pushing the lockdowns and vaccine mandates and booster shots and whatever. So that's really putting a damper on the markets, especially crypto. Security focused DeFi priority upgrades protocol. Okay, Moonlift announces rebranding changes, but what is there? Omni points, blah blah blah. Fed Chair Jerome Powell could slow crypto down in his second term, warns billionaire Mike Novogratz. I might be interested in reading that. I guess I'll be related to this article here. Okay, yeah, we'll combine these two because I'm thinking about the chapters, so we'll see. So we'll combine these two articles in the same thing. Okay, stocks fall dramatically because, okay, so let's see. Alright, airlines and cruise lines are getting killed. Okay, not surprised. Investors reacted to Fed Jerome Powell's remarks before the Senate Banking Committee, where Powell said the central bank could speed up tapering process to end sooner rather than previously telegraphed in the face of rising inflation. Comments came even after some other market participants had expected the Fed to strike a more accommodative tone. Blah, 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 especially because of the recent moronic variant. At this point, the economy is very strong and inflation pressures are high. This is both bullshit. And it is therefore appropriate, in my view, to consider wrapping up the tapering of our asset purchases. Another lie. I expect we will discuss that in our upcoming meeting. Okay. Alright, so Moderna's talking about a drop in effectiveness of the vaccine due to the Omicron moronic variant, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Both companies have already said they were collecting data on the moronic variant and that definitive more info will be available in the coming weeks. Right, they're trying to test the waters right now with their fear campaign. Researchers have not yet determined whether the variant is more easily transmitted or responsible for more severe illness. Well, first of all, we've already have confirmation that the symptoms so far are mild, so the media is still running with this bullshit here. The information is coming rapidly, evolving real time. Concerning yeah, without balance, blah, blah, blah. It's all about understanding whether there's a delay, derailment. Okay. All right, this thing is all. First, this article is supposed to be about Jerome Powell, and he keeps talking about the stupid Omicron moronic variant, which I just don't really care about right now. This is not a repeat of 2020. This is nothing looking like it or be, oh my god, it's going to be 30, we're going to go straight. Uniquely weigh history, non-waste on recent memory. Okay. Alright, so basically it's just Jerome Powell saying, yeah, we could taper. We might actually decide to taper more because of inflation, blah, blah. Which he will not. Or he could do a token taper and it wouldn't even matter because he'll still keep buying up assets. That's the problem. And still keep continuing to print money. Okay, Jerome Powell could slow down crypto in a second term. Warns Mike Novogratz. Mike Novogratz has cautioned that Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell could slow down the crypto market in a second term. Okay, what does this actually mean? Talked about the impact of Jerome Powell. The macro story has changed a little bit. Mike explained, adding that Powell getting reappointed could allow him to act more like a central banker than a guy who wants to get reappointed. Emphasizing we have inflation showing up in pretty bad ways in the U.S., Mike said, so we can see is the Federal Reserve going to have to move a little faster. Okay, so far Mike is just talking stuff, but he's not explaining what he means. For die-hard cryptocurrency bulls, another Jerome Powell term may provide some confirmation bias since the investors often view crypto as a hedge for loose Fed policy. Okay. Alright, Mike still insists that the crypto industry looks pretty good. Okay. Because more institutions are getting in. I was on the phone with one of the biggest sovereign wealth funds in the world today. And they made the decision on a go-forward basis to start putting money into crypto. I've had the same conversations with big pension funds here in America. Right? Michael Saylor is also kind of hyper-pumping Bitcoin. Investment bank Goldman Sachs. What? I accidentally clicked something. Investment banking Goldman Sachs said in May that fear of missing out is driving institutional investors into Bitcoin. Alright, so this article literally said nothing. It's just more annoying FUD. Yeah, of course Jerome Powell could tank crypto. So could the Federal Reserve, so could the governments. I've actually tweeted about this, I think, yesterday. Right? The governments cannot stop cryptocurrency, but they can do a lot of damage to it. So the problem is, if they do too much damage to crypto, they cut themselves off from having a kind of backup plan when they destroy the US dollar. Which also will give rise to, like, you know, China coin, essentially. And they don't want that either. I think for now, China must have made some sort of deal with the globalists and the tribals. So for now, they're deciding to keep the peace while dividing up the pie, which is obviously we the people. So yeah, but for the most part, it's going to be business as usual. Everything in the market that's happening right now is just pure fear and FUD. Because again, people are stupid. They'll just believe everything that the media tells them. They'll believe everything that the government tells them. And of course, they believe everything that Jerome Powell is saying as well. So this obviously is just having a negative impact on prices. However, what this means is market risk, as we already seen from the Mannarino index up here, has actually gone down quite a bit. So pretty much we remain bullish. We remain long, or at least I definitely will. I know Greg Mannarino is as well. All right, so that's Jerome Powell. All right, not a whole, just a whole bunch of nothing essentially. I read this article and the Kraken article earlier this morning, so I'm just going to paraphrase. But basically, the Bank of Indonesia executive says that a central bank coin will be a very good tool for combating Bitcoin. This article didn't really say much. It was just a bunch of like speculation and just him just talking out of his ass. Because technically, cryptocurrencies and central bank coins can easily coexist. One does not affect the other, right? Because they're completely separate commodities, right? Because the central bank coin is no different from like the U.S. dollar that's in my wallet, right? It's just paper money. It's the exact same thing. But with that being said, you know, again, if the governments decide to go after cryptocurrencies and start really trying to ban it, restrict people from owning it, you know, and thus cause a lot of damage, that's really where the damage comes in. Because remember, the government's still pretty powerful, right? They're very, very powerful, and too many people trust the government too much. So, and of course, big corporations. So, so with that being said, it's not so much central bank coins that will combat Bitcoin. It's the actual government themselves that will combat, Bitcoin and really cryptocurrencies in general. But because a lot of people really like crypto, hopefully there'll be enough pushback against any severe anti-cryptocurrency regulations. So we'll have to see. Which is why I'm kind of hoping that this Congress lady, whatever her name is, Aarika Rhodes, more people like her, actually take control of some government posts, not just in America, but throughout the whole world, so that cryptocurrencies will actually have like a more friendly environment to work with. At least it'll increase our chances of, attaining and maintaining financial freedom. Because again, cryptocurrencies are a serious threat to the global world order, especially the global financial order. That's why the IMF is getting mad at the El Salvador. Bank of England is getting mad at El Salvador. Right? I'm pretty sure I tweeted that out a couple days ago. The European Central Bank has already previously talked shit to El Salvador. A lot there's a reason for that. So, the more pushback, the more mass cryptocurrency adoption, the better that this will go for all of us. So with that being said, central bank coins, again, it's not so much the central bank coins, it's the people behind them, as always, that are going to be the threat to Bitcoin and crypto. And that's going to be always present, regardless if there's a, America coin or not, or European Union coin or not. And then to top us off, again, I don't want to read this whole thing, but Kraken is going to list Shiba Inu. And apparently there's some kind of regulatory concern over it, which is kind of weird, because I literally have never heard of it. But thankfully, Kraken is like, yeah, go after yourselves, we're going to list it anyway. So, it's important that more and more cryptocurrency companies and corporations, keep adopting crypto, keep embracing it, keep spreading it around, especially Shiba or whatever, right? It doesn't have to be Shiba, it just has to be cryptocurrencies. And the idea is to try to just weaken our overall tyrannical system so that, we'll have a better chance at like having, regaining our freedoms again. Because again, as you can tell, the governments are starting to get nervous about cryptocurrencies. I mean, you're going to actually try to regulate Shiba Inu, right? I mean, whatever these regulatory concerns are. Yeah, they're getting scared, and they're right to be, right? They, as in the globalists. So, the more that we can jam up the system, the better it is for us. So anyway, I'm starting to get kind of hungry. Yeah, this video is already like about to hit 43 minutes. And I also need to do the chapters for this. So I want to do the chapters for this, go out, get a sausage roll, because I've been really wanting to get a sausage roll. And to be honest, I kind of want to just get some air, because it's still a little stuffy in my apartment. Ironically enough, because the heat is actually on quite often. I've actually had to open the window earlier just to try to air out the apartment a little bit. It's such a weird situation. But that's okay. I mean, at least it'll be nice and warm and toasty. All right. So with that being said, I don't really see anything happening in the chat, but I also didn't really tweet out that I'm, whatever. So I will see you all tomorrow after the markets close. And overall, cryptocurrency is poised for really, really big gains. I'm hoping it'll be this week. Especially December has got to be our month, because November is basically come and gone. Plan B did a rare miss with the stock to flow model. Bitcoin is not at, what has he said, 98,000, which it should be. So, but with that being said, my own technical analysis, as we've already seen over here, already shows that crypto is ready to pop off. So hopefully people will come to their senses with this stupid Omicron moronic variant and not go too crazy with the fear. But again, people are stupid, so I mean, what are you gonna do? So the only good indicator is this fear and greed index is starting to become greedy. Excuse me. So I don't know. It's looking pretty good for us. It's looking pretty good for us in crypto. So, let's hope that, by tomorrow's stream, I'll have, I'll be saying Bitcoin has hit all-time new highs. It's going back to 64 or 68K. We're going to be rip-roaring. All right. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of your day or night. And I will see you all tomorrow.